very special conversation with David Warner. A lot of you have been asking me over the last 2 weeks, Boria, speak to David, speak to David. So here you go. The first time David Warner talking about the IPL, his future with Sunrisers in the Indian Premier League, of course, the World Cup, and opening up like never before. I appreciate him joining us. I know it is a hard interview to do when you ask such questions, but it is important also to ask David his side of the story. So, David, thank you very, very much for joining me. The first question, inevitable. We have all seen your Instagram post. We have all seen those photos, including the one with the IPL trophy in the Sunrisers jersey. All your fans, Sunrisers fans, IPL fans are emotional. So is it the end of your journey with Sunrisers Hyderabad? Give me an answer. Is it the end of your journey with Sunrisers Hyderabad? And how do you look at this journey?
Yeah, look, my Instagram post obviously was a special one because we don't know what's happening next year. And like anytime I post something on my social media platform, it's either about my family or people that mean the most to me. And, Sunrisers have given me that opportunity to lead. The fans are great supporters. We won an IPL trophy while I was there. A great bunch of guys to play with that have been with us now and before. I've got such great memories, and we don't know what's going to happen come next year. Obviously, 2 new teams. There's going to be a big auction, and a lot of that's not up to us. We don't know retentions, and sometimes you sort of get that feeling that you're probably not going to be retained at your franchise. With little things, little signs that you can see within and around the group and whatnot. So, from my perspective, I could see the writing was on the wall, and it was an appropriate time to say thank you because, I think when you come to an auction and you do get bought by a new franchise, you don't really want to be posting too much about your competition. So I felt it was the right time to say goodbye to the fans and thank you all for the memories because it means a lot. Hyderabad's my second home. They treated my family and I with great respect. Every time we visited there, everyone always comes up to us, gives us hugs, always want to speak to the kids. And that's the most important thing to me in life is that, you respect where you go and you gain that respect when you go to someone's place. And that's exactly what I received and my family every time we went to Hyderabad. So, I'm grateful for those memories, and obviously I look forward to what's happening down in the future.
David, all of us have seen your stats. In fact, just the other day, I got it on my mobile. I have this graphic of the number of runs you have scored, the 50s you have scored, percentage of runs that you have scored for Hyderabad Sunrisers, number of times you've been highest scorer, you have won them matches. Your statistics are staggering, absolutely staggering as far as the Indian Premier League is concerned. How do you look back at this journey? Because clearly many Sunrisers fans have told me that you are almost synonymous. And the fact that the team has made the playoffs multiple times in the last few years is largely because of David Warner. So how do you look back at that?
Yeah, look, when people talk about stats, you don't really know your stats until sort of people put it out there for reasons either you're going bad or sometimes you're left out of teams. But I didn't realise that I almost played 100 games for Sunrisers. I had no sort of clue how good my stats were without being arrogant. But at the end of the day, it's my job. My job's to go out there and score runs. I really enjoyed every moment I put on that orange jersey and went out there and played to the best of my ability. That's all I try to do every time I set out to set the team up. Whether I'm batting at the top, I also had to bat for purposes. Sometimes we weren't going as well as we'd like in the middle, and we needed someone to bat down there, and I opted to do that. These are things that are really special to me, to make a big difference in terms of energy at the crease. Batting with younger guys as well. you know, sometimes when you're at the top of the order, you get out, so you don't really get the opportunity to bat with these youngsters, and that's how they learn. And I really enjoyed that time, being able to do that. I would love to be at Sunrisers next year, but obviously time will tell. I obviously love to be part of the IPL in 2022. I obviously started my career at Delhi, obviously played with Sunrisers, and yet the final chapter of my career, I've still got a long time left in these leagues, and there's plenty of runs left. So I'll be looking forward to whatever opportunity presents itself, and as always, I'll be giving my 100% best.
Now to the inevitable question, David. If you see every post of yours, and I was going through the comments below on Instagram, on Twitter, your fans are constantly with you. Sunrisers fans, David Warner fans. Your message to the fans, because ultimately they are the ones who make our sport. They are the ones who make the David Warner narrative. Your message for the SRH fans who are missing you every single day.
Yeah, my message to the fans, look, obviously it was disappointing that we didn't get to go over to India and play in Hyderabad. Obviously the games were, this time in Delhi and Chennai we managed to play in before, obviously the COVID hit. We've been playing in some difficult times, you know, around the world, especially in India as well, seeing the case numbers and, you know, the fatality rate. It's daunting. It's terrifying, and it really hit home when we were there. And you know, there's more to life than cricket, and you know, the right decision was made in that terms. But to not be able to come and see you all in Hyderabad for one last time is sad. I'm going to miss every single one of you. You're all going to have a special place in my heart. I really loved and enjoyed my time with Sunrisers. You all out there make it very much so special for us, and we can't thank you enough for turning out day in, day out. The messages I receive on social media, you know, they're absolutely amazing. They put a big smile on my face, whether or not it's a very nice comment, positive comment, or you know, a negative comment. I know people have their opinions and they're entitled to that, but look, at the end of the day, I try and reach out and speak to as many of you people as I can, you know, on social media, because it's a great way to connect. I feel like you guys deserve to have that connection and special connection with the players, and I try my best to try and reach out to you all as best as I can, because you are the driving force for what makes me be who I am on the field. I like entertaining. I love playing the game of cricket. And best of all, we're in your backyard, so if I can showcase my expertise and get the guys up and about to entertain you all and have something to cheer on, it puts a smile on my face. And yeah, just thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the memories, and hopefully I get to come back out there, whether or not it's in the Sunrisers uniform or it's someone else's. I will salute you all when I come back to play in Hyderabad, that's for sure. Thank you.
David, in an interview like this, I know it's hard. And I will premise it by saying you have the liberty to say no to me. You have the liberty to say this is a question that I will not answer. You have the liberty to tell me, oh, you know what, this is not fair on your part to ask me this. But do you want to tell me what has transpired? Because it's important as a journalist, I ask you this question. David Warner sitting in the stands, not coming to the ground, being in the hotel, is not the David Warner narrative that we know. Do you want to tell me and my viewers what transpired and why?
Yeah, look, I'm not 100% sure how to answer the question with the utmost respect for the owners and Trevor Bayliss and Laxman. I think with the decision that was made, with me not playing, obviously there's a couple of other selectors that are there, Moody and Murali as well. So, you know, when a decision gets made, it has to be unanimous. So you don't know who is the person or who is going for you and who wants you to be selected or not. And that's getting to the nitty gritty of it. But at the end of the day, you're told you're not playing and you're not playing. The only disappointing thing for me was, you know, not being explained why I was dropped as captain. I think, you know, if you want to go down along the lines of form, it's a difficult one because I guess whatever you've done in the past, you think would have some weight moving forward in games that you play, especially playing almost 100 games for the franchise. And I think you have, I think I had 4 bad games, in that with 2 runouts in the first 5 games in Chennai, and the wicket was very low and slow. So, it is difficult. It's very difficult. It's a tough pill to swallow. There's still unanswered questions. I don't think I'll ever get those answers, but you have to move on. If people are honest, willing to have those hard conversations, they would have been had. But it's time to move on. It's time to look forward to next year. Obviously, got another auction. I would love nothing more than to represent Sunrisers still. But obviously that decision remains with the owners and the direction that the franchise wants to go in.
The other thing I have to ask, and I've tweeted this, David, is because of the fact that you did not play bulk of the second leg of the IPL, and having known you for years, I know how hungry you are, and every team who gets in front of you in the World Cup will suffer. How much are you looking forward to the T20 World Cup? Because God has given you an opportunity to redeem yourself in the World T20. How much are you looking forward to the World Cup?
Yeah, look, the World Cup, I am absolutely thrilled and pumped for. I can't wait. Hasn't been one of our greatest strengths playing in the World Cups. It's one thing that's obviously eluded us for a while now. I'm pumped. I can't wait. Just getting back with the boys. It's been a while since I put in the Australian colours. The pandemic has hit us hard, and it's been difficult. We obviously had a series against Bangladesh and the West Indies, which was through a period of where myself and a couple of players were always going to rest during that series, and then obviously with the Bangladesh tour being attached to that, it's very difficult to get us out and into that series. So, we've obviously got the World Cup and the Ashes moving forward, so it's a bit of a big time for us to have a rest, freshen up, knowing that there's obviously going to be a lot of bubbles coming up. But the World Cup, I'm pumped. I can't wait. We know what wickets we're going to get. We know how the surfaces are going to play. We know how extremely hot it is outside. So, look, I'm itching to get out there, and I can't wait to get amongst it.
Coming back to the IPL, 2 new teams will happen in the IPL come the 25th of October. And 2 new teams means 2 new establishments, captains, vice captains, think tanks. And if I really look around, you are one of those people who will be in demand as a leader, as a captain, as a possible choice. How are you looking at these 2 teams, and will you consider if such an opportunity arises? If one of them, for example, wants to approach you, buy you in the auction, if you put yourself there, I don't know how things will pan out, but will you consider such an opportunity if it arises and comes to you?
Yeah, look, 2 new teams obviously coming in next year. Obviously those franchises haven't been released yet. Would I like to captain if it comes up? Yeah, look, it's definitely something I do love doing. I enjoy it. I got my head around it. I think it makes me play a lot better as well with that responsibility. But also, I think having a taste of it in this environment always makes it a little bit easier as well. I've obviously shared that role with Sunrisers with Kane a fair bit, and it's also great to have other leaders that are in and around your franchise. And he was one guy that I had a lot of chats with. Jason Holder as well, another guy. Obviously you had Rashid Khan, who's captain Afghanistan. These are people that you can just share your knowledge around, and you can rebound a lot of information on and off. And I would be thrilled to do that if that actually came up. But yeah, it's all about getting a solid foundation together, and whoever they feel is the best leader to lead the group, obviously will get the nod. So to answer your question, if it did arise, I would love to do it. It's something I'm passionate about, and I feel like a person of my character can get people up and about. I'm very energetic. I do call a spade a spade. And I just love trying to get the best out of every individual to perform at their best, and hold everyone accountable for all their actions as well. So yeah, I'd love to.
Let me come back to the World Cup, David, and I've got to ask you this because after this I know you will be bound by protocols and regulations. How are you looking at the wickets? Because clearly all of them are used wickets. India has 5 spinners. Many other teams also have multiple spinners and slow bowlers. How are you looking at the wickets, and what do you think will be the impact of these tracks on the tournament?
Yeah, that's a question that we were talking about during the IPL actually. How are these pitches going to hold up? Thankfully, we've been kind. Or the draw's been kind that we play one game in Abu Dhabi, which is during the day, which is going to be extremely hot. Obviously, they have 2 extremely fast bowlers, which the ball should come onto the bat a little bit better. And then we have our remaining games in Dubai. So, that wicket there can be a little bit challenging early with the new ball from what we see, what we have seen in the IPL. But I think come to the World Cup, they might get a little bit slower, but I think they might be a bit more even to start. They won't be as statchy. That green grass might not be there. And it's about having positive intent with the bat and ball. So, look, we know what we're going to get. There's no excuses. It's about going out there and putting your best foot forward and making sure you apply discipline with your skill and trying to execute that as best as you can.
And finally, this is the only tournament that you all have not won. Australia has not won a World T20. Does that give you extra motivation? Because you are also, I'm not trying to tell you you're old or anything, but you're also clearly at that stage where, after a few years, you will have to start thinking. So this is one box that as an Australian cricket superstar, you will also want to tick. How are you looking at this particular tournament?
Look, anytime you play in the World Cup, it's always inspiring. You look at the great names that have come before you, how many trophies that have been lifted before you. It's a great spectacle to be a part of. I remember 2015 when we won the One Day World Cup. It was absolutely amazing feeling, and this one's eluded us for a while now. Looking at our team on paper, like it's definitely the strongest one we've put down. By far, I feel. Great experience. Got a lot of matches under everyone's belt. Whether or not you play for Australia or not, there's a lot of T20 games under everyone's belt. We've got the skill. It's about going out there and executing it. And that's one thing I'm looking forward to when I walk out there on the park with my fellow Australian teammates, is knowing that we've got the backing of each other and we've got the manpower there to take every single team on. And, there's a lot of teams who are going to be a challenge. I think Pakistan are going to be a great challenge. West Indies also with their firepower. England's a very good all-round team. Obviously World Cup winners. Obviously against New Zealand as well. They beat New Zealand in that format. And obviously you've got India, who, you look at IPL, they could probably field 3 teams. So, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great contest, and I'm pumped. I can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David, for answering all my questions, taking them on your chin. I know it has not been easy for you. Very stressful, especially for, with a team which you love so much, with fans who you love so much. You've been part of them. You've given it your all. It's difficult. It's been a difficult time for everybody. So I'm grateful for your time. Having said that, I would have preferred better treatment. Having said that, I would have preferred more transparency. Having said that, I would have preferred a David Warner last hurrah on the pitch. Having said that, Sunrisers and David Warner are one, according to me. It should have been like that, where you go out there, bat and give a final swan song kind of thing, like you deserve. So anyway, I don't want to go into more of it because that's for another day. Again, I'm appreciative of your time. I like the fact that you came on the show and told me what you believe. Thank you very much, mate, and all the very best for the World Cup. Thank you.